What is up, everyone? This is Sonic Mix, and today I'm here to give my review for WWE Monday Night Raw, September 19th, 2016. And this show, I don't know, I wasn't feeling good about this show. There was actually, I would say there was actually one match that I thought stood out than the rest. And let's go over what was said in this. So the night kicked off with a Foley promo, how he basically felt that Roman Reigns was cheated out of the main events, and he scheduled Roman Reigns to have a match. He would have a match against Kevin Owens, non-title, and it would be in a steel cage match. And also, Roman Reigns would be facing Rusev for the United States title at Clash of Champions. Kevin Owens would then come out, he would cut his promo, and this whole thing would then lead into the first match of Seth Rollins versus, I won't say Kevin Owens, Rusev. Now, I thought this promo was, it was short. I was actually surprised it was indeed short, which I would expect like a 20-25 minute promo of this opening segment, but it was nice and short. It cut right down to the point, and I thought it was alright. Once again, it cut right down to the point, and they didn't try to drag it on and on and on. So I thought they did a good job of actually making this alright. Once again, would lead to the first match of Seth Rollins versus Rusev. I actually thought this was a fine match. I thought Rusev held his own very well, and to those Rusev doubters out there, this guy can be good. He can have a good match. Last year, he had good matches with John Cena, although he lost, and it took him nowhere for a while. And I must say, his run now, I would say, is definitely a comeback run. But these guys are going at it. Match ends in a count out. Didn't like the finish, but at the same time, I can understand why. They didn't want to make Rusev lose, especially going into Clash of Champions, and obviously Rollins wasn't going to lose. So, they're fighting on stage. Rusev was about to powerbomb Rollins through the announcer's table. Rollins gets out of it, shoves Rusev off the stage. Rollins climbs onto the table and dives off, and that's how it ends. I'm going to give the match a 2.5. Although I understand why they did the double count out. It was to protect both guys. Smart move, but kind of sucks that it ended in a double count out. Oh, and also, I want to point out something here. As you can probably see in the background, you can see there's the Destiny Rise of Iron. I do have an announcement, actually, following this review. So do stick around for the review, or if you just want to jump right to the announcement, click on the time description down below. I'm going to leave it in the annotation box below. So if you want to skip this review for some reason, you could click on the time thing in the description box below, and you can go right to the announcement. Up next, well, actually, before this next match, there was a backstage segment with Sasha Banks. No, it was Charlotte and Dana Brooke. It was the Sasha Banks double pin conspiracy, where in last week's match, you had a triple threat. Bayley and Sasha Banks' shoulders were both down on the mat. I remember saying that it was weird that Bayley ate the pinfall, and if I didn't say it, I don't know how I didn't, but both of the shoulders were down on the mat. So now at Clash of Champions, the match between Banks against Charlotte has been changed. It will now be a triple threat match. I think it's going to be a good match, but I will save that for my predictions when Clash of Champions comes closer. Up next was Braun Strowman against Sin Cara. Match wasn't all that great. Kind of a squash match, although Sin Cara tried. Match, I think, went for like 3 minutes. Braun Strowman caught Sin Cara, gave him the pump handle slam, and ended the match with that, which was really weird. I'd give it a star, maybe a star and a quarter, as being generous, but that's not saying much. Up next was Sasha Banks and Bayley against Charlotte and Dana Brooke. I thought this match was fine. Not as good as the Battleground match, which I think that was Charlotte and Dana Brooke against Sasha Banks and Bayley. What a coincidence. This is a rematch from Battleground. I think that was the match. I believe it was. It was a fine match. Nothing really bad I can really point out. Charlotte actually gets the pin on Bayley, which surprised me because I actually thought either Charlotte, Sasha, or Bayley was going to pin Dana Brooke, thus keeping Charlotte strong as champion. But I guess either way, it does make Charlotte still look strong as champion going into Clash of Champions. My vote is Charlotte, but once again, I'll be doing that for my predictions video most likely either on Friday or Saturday. So one of those 2 days. Up next was Cesaro versus Sheamus in round 6 of the best of 7 series. Now, of this series, I must say, I thought round 6 was probably their best. It had a good pace, had a good wrestling style. Of course, obviously predictable that Cesaro was going to win. But despite that, I thought these guys did a pretty damn good job. I thought this was better than their previous 5. But this series has just not been cutting it for me. Although I did say, yes, this was a fine, good match, better than the previous 5. But I remember, like, Cena and Booker T, when it was the best of 5 series for the U.S. title. That was really good. But this hasn't been cutting out for me. Although this was fine, and I'm sure round 7 at Clash of Champions will be good, but it's kind of been a hit or a miss for the most part. Like I said, the match was fine. I thought it was the better part of the previous 5. I give it a 2.75. And actually, I forgot to rate the women's match. Women's match, I give a 2.5, maybe 2 3/4 out of 5, being generous. Up next, Jericho. Well, actually, backstage, Jericho did a list of all the things on why he hates Mick Foley. Jericho's so great, and this list of why he hates Mick Foley was great. He goes out to the ring, and then out comes Kaz and Enzo, the Shining Stars, Gallows and Anderson, and the New Day. And Jericho decides to make a list of the stupid idiots list. Great stuff from Jericho here. It's actually a shame he's going to be leaving in a few months because this is like the best stuff Jericho's ever done, and it's a shame he's leaving. But this promo would lead to a 5 versus 5 tag team match. It was Jericho, Shining Stars, Gallows and Anderson versus Zayn, Enzo and Kaz, and the New Day. Hey, Survivor Series has actually come early, although this was an elimination match. I thought it was okay. Kind of hard to follow towards the end because you kind of forgot for a second who was the legal man, with everybody like flying all over the place, which usually when that happens, especially if it's a crowded match like this, it can be a little bit hard to concentrate on who's the legal guys. But Enzo and Kaz actually pick up the win. They pinned the Shining Stars. About time they did. And they pick up the win. Like I said, it was an okay match. Kind of hard to follow. I give it a 2 out of 5. Up next, which I thought was not really the saving grace, but it did in a way made the show a bit interesting. We had a fatal 4-way cruiserweight match. No TJ Perkins. They're saving him for Clash of Champions. Right before I mentioned the participants, Mick Foley blundered his words with the quote, "It ain't the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the dog in the fight." It's the heart of it. Oh my god, I even blundered the words. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the fight inside of the dog. There we go. He blundered those words. I blundered it my first time. Jeez. I gotta drink some more water. Water! Water, water, water. But the four-way match was Rich Swann, Cedric Alexander, Grand Metalik, and the Brian Kendrick. The winner of this fatal four-way match will face TJ Perkins for the Cruiserweight title. I thought this was a really good Cruiserweight match. They actually gave these guys time. I think it was like 15, maybe close to 18 minutes. Like I said, I don't keep track of time, but it was a long match. I know that for a fact. There was a lot of high-flying moves, a lot of good sequence moves. Like, this was very entertaining stuff. And I was intrigued. I was very intrigued by it. Brian Kendrick picked up the win with the Captain's Hook, which they changed that from the Bully's Choke to the Captain's Hook. I'm assuming, I think I know why they changed it. It's probably because of the Be a Star thing. Because to fight against Bully, so they didn't want to use the name Bully in Bully Choke. So, Captain's Hook. I'm okay with Captain's Hook. I'm okay with it. Which actually, if you think about it, Brian Kendrick does kind of look like a captain on a ship, if you look at him that way. So I guess that makes sense. But I think the Bully Choke name is a bit better. But that's just me personally. But Brian Kendrick picks up the win. He'll be facing TJ Perkins at Clash of Champions. And this was a great match. This was a good match. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. Really good stuff here. Oh, and also, I should probably mention something else regarding about Destiny. There's another announcement I want to make, but I'll mention that after the review. Main event. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a steel cage match. I was not feeling this steel cage match. I actually thought this was a letdown. It was pretty slow for the most part. I didn't like how Owens was trying every way to escape the cage, as most heels would do. But towards the end, Roman is escaping from the cage. Owens is trying to escape through the door, and Roman touched both feet first before Owens did. So, after the match, there was a beatdown. Rusev locked the door. So, they're beating on Roman. Out comes Rollins. And Rollins is climbing up the cage. He's beating off Owens and Rusev. And he does a dive off the cage. All four guys are laying there. And it ends like that. I was kind of hoping there would be more with that. But I'm sure somebody may be I'm sure somebody's going to post that on YouTube and we're all going to see it. Or it may even be on Twitter. Overall, this wasn't really a good Raw, at least in my opinion. And like I said, with Monday Night Football, which actually, I know today's Monday Night Football was the Bears against the Philadelphia Eagles. I didn't watch that. Eagles beat the Bears 29-14. So it was actually close in like the first half. Then I guess the Eagles dominated the rest. I didn't watch it, to be honest. But I give this Raw a 6.5-ish. If it wasn't for the Cruiserweight, I probably would have given this less. But like I said, I think the Cruiserweight match kind of saved it, but not really. But 6.5, I think, is the good mark. With that, this was my review for Monday Night Raw. Alright, now I actually got two announcements really quick. So the first announcement, I'm going to be doing a predictions for Clash of Champions Saturday afternoon. Also, I will be attending the WWE Live House Show at the Allstate Arena in Chicago for the Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton fights. I will be doing video, maybe not video of the match, of course. I may show some video. I don't know. If I do show any kind of video, it may go on my Twitter accounts for the most part. And I will be at Indianapolis, Indiana for Clash of Champions. Which means I probably won't be giving a review of Clash of Champions until Monday morning. Also, once again, I'll probably do some video with that. Maybe, if it's not going to be on YouTube, it may go on Twitter. I'm not sure how it's going to be, but If you see it on my YouTube channel, great. If not, it's gonna most likely maybe be on my Twitter. Secondly, Destiny. Tomorrow, Tuesday, September 20th, I will be doing a playthrough of Destiny Rise of Iron. I will first be doing a live stream on Twitch, and then after my Twitch, it will go right onto YouTube. So please do follow me for that. Also follow me on Twitter as well. And until then, you guys have a good night. Hope you guys enjoy the review and the announcements. And until then, I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow for Destiny Rise of Iron. Take care, everyone.